Well, good
Yo,
afternoon, everybody. How's everybody out there today? 12:30 for our normal Saturday afternoon podcast. Myself, John Costin, and my fellow partner in the Hamilton studios, in the Let It Run studios, Freddie Bro York. How you doing today, Fred?
pretty good, John. Just feel much better. This wind out here, I don't know. Is it really windy down there in Atlantic City, brother?
It is so windy. We're looking at the beach here. It looks like a tornado on the beach. You can't see it for the videos, but I'm at
It's
ocean,
beautiful.
sitting with my back to the ocean. So it is absolutely
Beautiful.
gorgeous, sunny,
Yeah,
but do not go
yeah.
outside. You'll blow away.
Beautiful shot though. Yeah, I was out early this morning. Went to breakfast with my son. Oh my God, it still is windy. It's like crazy windy out there. Um, Supposed to get possibly a little warmer later during the week. Like when I say warmer, I mean like maybe 40 degrees.
Yep,
Yeah,
pump it up.
it's pretty bad when you start talking warm at 40 degrees, John.
Yeah,
So
yep.
let's
It'll feel like 70.
yeah, well, I mean, I'll take that any time of the day, any time of the week. But yeah, it's been brutal. Even we even had a little snow here. I know you guys probably didn't have any snow there. Had to sweep some snow off of the car this morning before I did go out to breakfast. That wasn't fun. It wasn't much compared to what it was before, but nevertheless, I'm really getting tired of it, John.
Yeah, we're probably going to have another month of it. I mean, it's going to, keep circling back. And I would think February is going to be, we're going to get more snow in February.
Oh yeah, we could get it in March. I mean, who knows? Anyway, so let's take a minute, John, and give our sponsors a shout out, please.
Sure. Cases Portrol, Tom Dolan family. Thank you so much for being there with us, from day one. We appreciate his support. And Alicia at the vape shop on Route 33 for all your vaping needs. Two of our great friends who, supported us from the beginning. We'll never
Yes,
forget that.
yes,
And a newest sponsor, more mainstream now is, Brisnet. We partner with them and get to use all their, wonderful products. And, Freddie refers to it an awful lot during the shows. And there's a lot of good information there with the Prime and the
right.
loan ease and all that. So looking forward to really diving in and getting myself more familiar with Brisnet. But, the Brisnet pick of the day will be, that'll be coming up all week long.
I have a couple
Tomorrow, we're
today.
going to,
I have a couple today,
oh,
John.
that's what we want to hear. We want to hear that,
Surprise!
bros.
Surprise!
And let me see. It's probably the strongest closer of the day, right? You're definitely going to go with a closer.
You clearly don't. I know
Um,
you know. I know you know me, John. But
yeah, that's not going to happen.
well, we'll see. It's interesting. You're going to be surprised when we get there. First, we'll cover some of these prep races and one cool race at Santa Anita. Why don't we start with the first race later on today at Santa Anita at 7 o'clock tonight, which is a Kentucky Derby prep race. The Robert B. Lewis. John, take us into that, John.
Yep, it's a 1 mile. A lot of these horses already have been to two turns, so that's not something new for most of the field here. Um, it is a points race. 20 points for first, 12, and then 6. Just like the Withers yesterday. So very similar to
Yeah,
that. And as they get later in the season, the point values go up as you get in more towards the Florida Derby, Santa Anita Derbies, and that's where you get maximum points. But this is a stepping stone to see horses progressing into that. So 1 mile, you got Bob Baffert has the 3 favorites basically on the inside, first, second, and third,
yep,
and uh, you got to figure out, he's not going to duel each other into submission. So you got to figure out, who's going to want to, take the lead. So I'll start with, number 1, Desert Gate. He's proven the most grade 3 winner, runner up in 2 grade 1s back to back,
yeah,
stretched out, very nicely.
yeah,
Who was 90 cents on a dollar, he should have got that job done there and just, didn't finish, enough, when the Intrepido, the 4 horse, ran right by him at the end.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I would think Baffert's going to send this one from the rail. I don't think he has much of a choice. This is the one that's going to go. If you look, who else might go? The 6 horse would be the other speed, out there with him. So depending on how much pressure Desert Gate gets, will dictate a lot. What he's got left in the stretch. He is cutting back from a mile and a 16th to a flat mile. So maybe this race here should hit him right between the eyes. Going forward, What did he scratch out of the Breeders' Cup? Oh yeah, I think he scratched out of the Breeders' Cup
Yeah, yeah,
Juvenile. So yeah, he was pointed to that, and he would have been, at worst third choice behind Ted Nafi.
sure.
So um, yeah, he'll take him as long as he can go, and if he doesn't get any pressure, he's gonna be tough to run down. We'll see. What do you got on him?
I agree with you. I mean, I think there's a lot more speed in this race, than just the one and the three. I mean, I think you mentioned the six, the seven. I mean, the six has Jaramillo on him. You know he's going to go. There's no question that horse is going to go. The seven has the highest early pace figure of 114, so he's going to go too. I think there's going to be plenty of speed to go. I think you're right. Desert Gate from the Grail has only one choice. JJ Hernandez, one of the top jockeys at Santa Anita, is going to send this horse for sure. No question about it. Will he be able to last? I mean, obviously, when I'm out 16th last time, I think that was a little long. 7 furlongs just hits him right square in the eyes, but didn't make it. Six, keep getting a little longer each time. 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs, mile 16. I think going back to a mile gives this horse a good chance, obviously, to use his speed and fit this perfectly. He's been at 2 turns before, as you mentioned, at a mile 16th. I think this mile distance hits him perfectly. I like the 2 horse, so we'll go to the next horse, Plutarch, ridden by Giroux. The first time Giroux's been on that horse, Flavian Pratt's been on him, Kimura's been on him, JJ Hernandez has been on him. It's odd. I find it kind of interesting that randomly Bob Baffert's horse are 1, 2, 3 as far as the lineup goes. Interesting. But I think this horse is going to get a nice setup for his closing kick. Obviously, he's got to step up in class. He was in the American Pharaoh Grade 1 against Intrepido and Desert Gate and came in third. I think he might have got a little bit of a slow start in that race, John. So that gave him a little bit more to kind of come from behind a little further than he wanted to. I think he'll get out a little bit closer in this race. I mean, that race at Del Mar, even though it was on turf, another race where he shows the closing kick. His horse has got a closing kick. I think if Giroux can get him into the mix a little bit sooner, I think this horse at 4-1, I think is the play for me for Bob Baffert's 3 horses, especially the way he looked at that. Again, it was a little bit longer. He looked like he was going to get up and then kind of ran out of gas and came in third behind Intrepido and Desert Gate. But I think this time he might size them up a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't know what Bob Baffert's doing with this horse here. Not Bob Baffert on the turf. I mean, that is just crazy. That after a good debut on the dirt, ran second in triple, then he goes right to the grass for a mile. I have no idea what that's about. Then he brings him back to the dirt, ran another great, good dirt race. Then he puts him back on the turf for 2 races. So I don't know what. And this horse is bred for dirt inside and out. Bred, the mother is Stellar Wing, great, Breeders' Cup, Grade 1 champion. So why are you putting this horse on the turf is mind-boggling. And then look at the series of 6 furlong published works. The last 2 were both 6 furlongs, and he galloped out, to 7 or 8 furlongs there. But geez, I mean, I think down the road, this horse, he's going to find a spot for this horse, and it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be today. I'm definitely interested in this horse, and it's probably going to be, my second pick. I would have picked him on top if he didn't have like all these question marks with this turf and Baffert, and I just can't figure it out. But at the price of all Bafferts, he's the one I'm gonna, like you said, that we're gonna, at the price, he's the Baffert I want out of this group.
Yep.
Number 3, Cherokee Nation, the third of the Bafferts. They paid $1.1 million for this horse. Not this time. Had a sire out there, proven that he can get the distance. When he stepped up into the Grade 2, just wasn't ready at that point. Further ado, how good he is. One of the favorites for the Kentucky Derby.
Sure.
So, and then Universe. Is Universe in the Tampa State today, or is that?
Not sure.
No, that's Confessional. I get the one-word names mixed up. So, yeah. So
Confessional and Universe, yes.
Yeah. This one actually has the freshness where he already has a race in January. The others are coming off a layoff. So maybe with looking at the rest of them here, basically the 6 and the 3 are the most recent. They have a race in this calendar year. So maybe the freshness there, maybe gets to jump on his other two stablemates.
Yeah.
Definitely one that I'm using for sure.
Yeah, I think of the three Baffert horses, this is the horse I have the least likely use of in my picks. I just think he's another horse that's probably going to get buried in any kind of a speed duel. I don't think he's going to be able to kind of keep up. Or if he does, he's going to lose ground. Again, it is a mile. It's interesting that this race is a mile on the dirt rather than a little bit longer, is what you would think. I guess the Robert B. Lewis has always been a mile ever since they ran it. I'm not as familiar with some of the West Coast racing history, John, with some of that stuff going on. But anyway, I don't. The Cherokee Nation is my least of the Bob Baffert entries here. So if we move on to number 4, Intrepido, very, very good, solid horse, getting better as the distance has gotten longer. There's no doubt about it. Again, last time he got beat by Ted Nafi and Brandt. I think he got off slow. If you look at the replay, look at the comments. Did not get a good ride from Hector Barrios. 7-2 morning line. Pretty interesting that this horse is, I guess, the second choice here in this race. Jeff Mullins, obviously big time trainer out there at Santa Anita. Again, this horse, another horse that has not been, or is coming off a race. Last time he's raced was in October. He's working out pretty fresh and hasn't missed a workout since getting back into the workouts in the end of December. Hasn't missed a workout, working out very well. Put a couple bullets up there. Put some nice numbers on some 5 furlong workouts. So I think this horse has a chance. If I'm kind of going to use him as you would, I like to use your words, John, defensively. Might use this horse if I'm in a horizontal wager. Might use this horse defensively, but that's my thoughts on the 4, John.
Yeah, he was my biggest disappointment in the Breeders' Cup in the contest.
I
remember having a $500 or $1,000 cold exacta with Ted Nafi and Intrepido second. And, really he did no running at all after, not getting away good. But he still had every right in the world to, make a run, and he just did nothing. So that was a little disappointing, the Breeders' Cup. But he has the talent. He could sit off the pace just like he did in past Desert Gate and Key Park when they met in the American Pharoah. He's the only Grade 1 winner in the field. He's coming off a layoff, and he's got a steady series of works. Nothing really like eye-popping or earth-shattering, but steady for Jeff Mullins.
Sure.
One that maybe will need one because, when he came out, made him special weight to start. That was only 5.5 furlongs. Now he's, you can see what he did around the 2 turns before the Breeders' Cup. So
yeah,
probably use it defensively. And I guess I'm going to be a little off him because I'm so disappointed from the last time he ran. So got a little bias there.
You got a bad taste in your mouth, John.
Got a bad taste in my mouth from him. Yeah.
It's almost happy hour, so maybe we'll get on the podcast so we get that taste out of your mouth.
We got to wait for next Friday for that, but I'm in Atlantic City, so we'll start drinking pretty soon. All right. The next one, number 5, 30-1 morning line. Just kind of really like slow on the figures. Chip, was it really run ARP? What is that track? ARP?
Arlington?
No. I don't even know what ARP is. Where's it coming from?
You got me.
I don't know that. I mean, unless it's Arapahoe Park, or Assiniboia Downs. But it's a Kentucky bred. He wouldn't be running out there. So I'm not going to waste any more time. He's overmatched here.
Yeah, this horse clearly is a sprinter. Might also be a part of the pace. Probably going to get fired out of the gate by the jockey. No question about it. Tyler Bays will take this horse, gun him, which will contribute to the pace for sure. But yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to go to a horse that's got my attention a little bit, mostly because a jockey who I loved down at Gulfstream Park and won a lot of races, took his tack, traveled out to the West Coast back. He's now at Santa Anita. Jerry Mills on this horse again. He won at a mile at Santa Anita, broke his maiden. It was 24-1 when he went off there. Prior to going off, the horse was showing some good speed in his workouts. I don't think this horse has a chance. Well, I'm not going to say he doesn't have a chance to win. I think Jaramillo is a tremendous jockey. I think he certainly has already won at a mile, at this track, which a couple other horses already have. I think he certainly has to step up, but there's no question he is going to be out there with those horses early and putting some pace pressure on the rest of the field with Jaramillo in the saddle, John. Absolutely.
Pace pressure for sure. A pace candidate here for the Calumet homebred. But I can't see him, outdueling the one and sticking around at the end. So, he wasn't respected in his first two starts based on the odds. He'll be, another 25-1 in this race.
Sure.
Just a pace presence. That's all I can see him and, folding up
Absolutely.
in the lane.
Yep.
Number 7, Secured Freedom. Probably will be my top pick. I'll use him here because I think he could just sit just off the pace. Now he moves on the outside. He could set his own trip. And that race, he just looped the field and, just ran away from him. But he is stretching out to, a mile. The practical jokes, anything over a mile, I wouldn't love. But I'm hoping that he could stretch out, sit a nice trip, be forwardly placed coming out of those sprints. And then hopefully the one gets, mixed up in a little duel somewhere and the 7 gets a jump on him. And the race last time, those numbers held up. Everybody coming out of those races ran back to that figure. So that 88 buyer is a legitimate figure, even though it's only 6.5 furlongs. But I'm going to make him my top pick and play around with the 2 Plutarch. So I'm going to use the 7 and 2 as my top 2 and then sprinkle in all the others defensively underneath in tries.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're getting a top jockey on this horse too. He's been on this horse the last 2 times. Like you said, I think that's a legitimate buyer speed figure he got when he broke his maiden last time out. Stretching out this time again, out of practical joke, not a bad thing to be stretching out. I think also, if we're going back to Brisnet again, this horse has what's called a P, which is a presser rating by Brisnet. And the number after the P is a 6, which means he gets out of the gate. So he's going to get out and be right. I think you're right, John. A good horse to use for a price. I mean, his morning line is 6-1. Probably going to get maybe overlooked a little bit, I think, because of the first 3 horses in 1, 2, 3, the Baffert horses. Last week, Kamira's had 17 mounts, won 5 times, came in second 5 times. That's a hot jockey. There's no question. I think that means a lot when you talk about a hot jockey. He's got to move up in class, no doubt, breaking the maiden last time out. But I don't think that's an impossible task for this horse, John. So I think that P rating, again, is the only P in this field. Again, I value, what Brisnet talks to us, anybody who checks out Brisnet, how they rate their horses. This horse is the only P in the field, which means he's a true presser. He's going to be up there with the pace and not be taken away or not be overwhelmed by the pace. He'll be comfortable with the pace, and that's going to give him a good chance to close. I mean, he won by 4 last out with 6.5 furlongs, was running away from the field past the finish line. So I think that's an interesting horse, John. I agree with you.
All right, let's move on to the 9th race. Fun downhill for 3-year-old fillies. When you first, look
I love the downhill turf at Santa Anita. That's a special race. Get to Santa Anita, and I want to see a downhill turf race live.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. I was there one day for 8 races. We had lunch there, and that down the hill is really, really cool to see. And they start so far away from me, can't even see the start of it. Exactly. It's up at the top of the hill, and they come rushing down the hill.
All of a sudden, they're coming down at you. Yes.
So this is a 6.5 furlongs down the hill, more of like a European style shape to this course. So the outside post draw is not, a hindrance. You actually rather be on the outside with the configuration. So start with the 1 Hyperdammy. This is one of 3 horses that I'm going to use in an exacta box. He'll be one of my 3 because at price 10-1, turning back to the 6.5 furlongs, versatile sort. Numbers, he's got to step up a little bit on numbers, but I think at 10-1, O'Neill, I'm going to use him in there for sure at the 10-1 number.
Well, the reason I would use him is like we talked before. Harmel's on him again. Harmel, a great speed jockey, knows how to get a horse out of the gate, knows how to keep a horse where he needs him to be. Uh, Horse, has not run at. Not many of the horses run. I don't think any of the horses have run at this distance before, so they're all kind of going to have their first opportunity to run on the downhill turf, which is going to be interesting. Some have run on turf. Clearly, some have not run on turf at all. Running on turf. The downhill turf, I think, has some sort of help when we get to a jockey who's done well on downhill turf, and we'll get to that eventually. But let's go to the number 2 horse, La Villa Lumiere. This horse has won twice on turf, not downhill turf, but has won twice on turf at Santa Anita. You're getting, a decent price of 8-1. Not sure how this horse fits into this field in terms of, because one of the jockeys I'm going to talk about, Kimura, got off this horse. Well, last time he got off, and Pratt got on and won with him. Won at a mile. Again, closed very nicely to win. Just this is not the horse for me in this race, John.
Yeah, I'm looking at his 2 dirt races when she challenged the big girls last year, Juvenile Fillies and the Oakleaf, ran into Explorer, Super Corridora, both of those, and throw those dirt races out. Her turf races stack her up pretty well in this field. And maybe the 6.5 hits her, right between the eyes. Again, like you, I'm just not sure what to do with her.
Yeah.
And there's a couple others maybe, but I would like, more than her. So she's a question mark for me, and I don't want to toss her totally, but I don't want to really use her. So let's just see how that plays out. There, number 3, yours sincerely, Phil D'Amato. Very hot out there right now, winning at, over 20% clip. And Kimura picks up the mount on this one for Rispoli. Is Rispoli still injured? He's injured, right?
Yeah, he had ankle surgery. He'll be needing some physical therapy.
No, okay, send him your way. He'll be back
sure.
by then. You can help him out.
Oh, yeah, sure. But he's doing well, but it's going to take a little time. He put some tweets out there. Recovery's going well. It should be fine.
Yeah, I think this horse, the 6.5 should be perfect for this horse. You can see the grinding mile that he just never, really could get there. Now the 6 furlongs, he makes that great move, and wins going away. Now the 6.5, should be right in his wheelhouse. It's one of the 3 I'm going to use at the 6-1. So I'm going to box the 1-3 as part of my 3-horse box. So definitely one I like to see right at the 6.5 furlong distance.
This is my pick. I think it's in a perfect post. When I was speaking earlier about jockeys who are familiar with downhill turf, Kashmir Kimura is absolutely one of the jockeys who's familiar with the downhill turf course at Santa Anita. There's no question about it. And I think, unfortunately, Rispoli being hurt, he's also very good on downhill turf. I think Phil D'Amato clearly picked, or his agent picked, however it worked out, reached out, got Kimura, because I think this horse at 6-1 is going to be a good price to keep your eye on. I agree with you there, John. Definitely, this horse is one of the horses you want to keep in your mix. The number 4, Soaring Angel, 50-1. Tyler Bays has been on turf already at a much cheaper level. Last race didn't do too much. I don't think this horse has a chance, John. I could quickly go.
It's 50-1 for a reason, and just too slow. I mean, he doesn't have a buyer that's over 54, and everybody else is running in the 70s. So he's really going to have to step up his game. Here, just tough to make a case for even Tyler Bays. He's 1 for 50 this year, so he's not the hottest one in the world. So I'm going to pass on him. Moves up to number 5, Light One Up. This was an early 2-year-old that debuted in May at Santa Anita in one of those 4.5 furlong races, and he beat La Ville Luminaire there. And then Luminaire came out of that race to break her maiden and then step up against the big boys. So definitely. And then in June in the debutante, it was a little too much to ask right out of the gate at 3-1 second lifetime start. Yeah. She had a lot of pace pressure. They were flying on the front end, and she folded up basically like she should. Now Doug O'Neill gave her time off, and she will be, a little. Let me see, workouts are steady, and I guess it's been pointing for this race, wanting to get her on the turf. So that's going to be one of my other picks here. I'm going to box the 1, 3, 5. Like you said, the 3's probably my top pick, and I'm going to sprinkle in the 1 and the 5 with it. So I'm going to give this horse a shot coming, off of hopefully grew up a lot from a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old.
Yeah, this is for me one of the horses. There's a few horses, at least a couple that are coming up that have not raced on turf before. This is a tough place to try a horse first time on turf, downhill turf, in my opinion. You don't know how a horse is going to handle it. You don't know how the horse is going to handle when they transition from the dirt. There's that turf. There's a dirt crossover that comes into play. You don't know how these horses are going to handle that. So I'm a little off of this horse. I know certainly Doug O'Neill and Antonio Fresu know how to get a horse ready to go, have him go. But I don't like this horse first time on turf, first time on downhill turf, as his first time running on turf. But the 6 horse, Jamaica, JJ Hernandez, another jockey who is very familiar with downhill turf. But this is another horse that hasn't tried grass before. It's his first time on grass. Again, out of a curl in and out of into mischief, has a mare, has some speed. There's no question this horse can run. Won 3 races already. He's been working out well to get back to this race. Hasn't had much time off. Certainly is a horse that has 7 races under his belt already. He's #1 prime power. I think that's just based on the number of races that he's had. Been in some greater stakes races, done very well. Holds his own anytime he's out there running. JJ Hernandez has all 3 wins on the horse. The horse has 3 wins. JJ Hernandez has all 3 of them. So I'm just not sure about the fact that it's a first time on turf.
Yeah, that's what I'm not liking. Baffert's just trying something because he ran her in all these grade 3s, grade 1s against, Explorer and, Battle of Rouge. And the horse did burn some money as, 1 to 5 favorite, 1 to 2 favorite. So be a pace factor here, but I don't like first time on the grass. Baffert's just trying something because she couldn't really stack up and hold her own against, the big girls in the division. So at 3-1, one of the favorites. I'm going to try to, fade her a little bit. She'll be a pace factor for sure. Maybe she gets brave on the front end going on the grass and loves it, but I'm not willing to find out at the low odds.
Yeah, me neither. Yep.
Struck by her. It's second time in the States, broke maiden in the States here. First time she ran on the 6 furlong, not the downhill turf course. Did it pretty nicely. Very slow figure though. So just based on the slow figure and winning a maiden special rate, stepping into here, I just have a tough time, finding a spot for this one.
Yeah, same here. Broke maiden in a very, very slow time. Won by neck. A good brave run. Getting Giroux on here. Obviously, again, we mentioned about Umberto Rispoli. Giroux picking up mounts wherever he can is what my feeling. He's still 0 for 4 out there. So I don't think that horse is on my list either. The number 10, Umbrella, however you want to say that. Lascano's on that horse for the first time. John Sadler's the trainer. Horse has run on turf before at 6 furlongs. Put up kind of not a very high buyer speed figure for that second place finish. Broke's made in 6 furlongs at Santa Anita on turf nicely with some speed. So I think another horse that probably is going to get out, show some speed. But when you go down that hill and you make that left turn and make that right turn and make another left turn, cross over the dirt, there's a lot going on there. I'm not so sure this horse is going to be a horse that I need to include on my ticket, John.
No, I think a pace factor that, might be one of the leaders turning over the dirt back onto the turf. But somebody I can't see, coming out. There's other speed horses I like better. But, I think there's going to be fast pace on the front end, and it's going to be like somebody that sits a perfect trip and a closer. So this horse, has to be on the front end to win. So not for me. Number 9, Bourbon and Ginger.
There you go.
Mandela. There you go. That's what I want right now. I'll take another Bourbon. Was 4-1 against yours sincerely last time. And that's, our top pick in this race. So, but really didn't do much running, just sat, behind and, ran around last and didn't make a move. So, very tall task here to improve. And it looks like another one that needs the lead in order to, win. So another one, it's in a tough spot.
Yeah, one of the reasons I like this horse would probably maybe to use as an under at 20-1. They put blinkers on last time, and he hopped at the start. He had a bad run with the blinkers on. Don't know why they put blinkers on. Prior to that race, was on turf. Showed some pretty good speed on turf. Again, going longer. That was a mile. This is going to be 6.5 furlongs, a little shorter. So this horse is definitely going to be a pace factor with the blinkers off. The trainer's 32% with blinkers off. Last race, January 11th, since then has come out and shown a nice workout 2 times. So I think this horse has a chance to get into the mix, but perhaps not win, but certainly could be a price to use under. Going to get out, definitely going to get out. The number 10, Mahaven, Hector Barrios on this horse. Again, another horse who has not tried turf before. Not sure it even had, well, Yopon is a good sire first time out. I'm not sure about turf. I don't think he's got really a big time turf breeding. Been off since October, working out for the return. Just, again, probably a little bit of a pace factor. But again, trying turf, downhill turf for the first time, tough ask.
Yeah, as a low odds, 4-1, one of the favorites. I was there that day at the Breeders' Cup undercard on October 31st. That was the state bred Garden State Juvenile. And cool. This horse got hammered in the last 2 minutes, was up around 3-1. And then the last 2 minutes, they just crushed her to 9-5, and she won like she was 1-5. So pretty impressive, that race there. But trying the turf, Yalpan's on the turf. Want to wait and see approach at the low odds. So, anybody trying turf for the first time, I got to get, odds. And here, I'm going to wait and see approach on this one, even though, she's one of the favorites. First time turf. But, you got the best turf jockey in the country on her. Sure. So if the horse is ready to go, that'll help. So one that I'll probably use defensively, but, not in my exacta box. I'm going to try to catch prices more than this one. Number 11, Famous Forza, just comes off a state bred made in special weight after running a 20,000 state bred claimer at Los Alamitos and was 35-1 and really didn't do nothing. Comes back on the grass, state bred made in special weight at 67-1 and wins there. That was Bill McLean's only winner this year for that. And I don't know, maybe just the figures are too slow too slow for me to consider, even though maybe the light bulb angle with the turf, just too slow a figure to use her.
Yeah, I agree. I just think this horse has not been in any company running races that make you think, oh, this horse has a good chance here with some of that. It's a big field. They got 12. Don't know what the scratches are yet, but you mentioned how being outside could be a good thing. I think for both of these horses, the 11 and 12, it's not such a good thing. The 12 horse, also a big price at 20-1, has gone on turf the last 2 times at a mile. Made a big closing kick 2 back to break his maiden. Big closing kick from outside could come in handy. Just not sure that this horse is fast enough to give the horse a good chance at the end to get up and make some noise at the wire. But again, showed a pretty impressive closing kick 2 back to break the maiden. Closing kick like that at a mile, if it could transfer in closing kick at 6.5 furlongs, that's the only way a horse is going to win or get anywhere up there in the top 3 or 4 from that post, John, is to have a huge closing kick. And it does.
Yeah. Richard Mandela here, Spenford Farms. 2 turf races. First one, checks on the first turn and then came flying home and wins that impressively. And then run into the Blue Northern Lights handicap. And that was drew the rail. And now they forced it to, get out there. And that wasn't, her game on the lead. So I can see him reverting back to tactics of, from the 12 hole, find a spot and to make that one run. So hopefully she's not involved in the speed duel and she could find a good trip from out there. And at 20-30-1, somebody to use under for sure. And got to get a little faster. I mean, definitely the speed figures are kind of slow, but somebody that, might be able to increase a little bit with the closing kick.
Yeah. All right, where are we going now, John? Where are we taking our attack?
All right, we're going to go to Tampa Bay for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks prep races.
Okay.
So the fifth race at Tampa today, and that race is going to go off at 2:11. So about an hour from now.
Yeah.
Not much to go through here. Basically, we don't have to, I don't think, go through every horse because
pick your horse. Pick who you like.
The only one you can see is Zany at 2 to 5 morning line, going to be 1 to 9. I was there that day at the Demoiselle, and it was just, a tour de force. I mean, she just did what she wanted with that field. So they said if she runs again here impressively, which unfortunately there's nothing really behind her. So what's going to be impressive for this horse? A 95 buyer wins by 10, because Pletcher said that he would find a boys race and go into something like the Risen Star or one of the
really? Okay. Oh wow.
So they think this much of this horse that she can contend with the boys on the Triple Crown Trail. So if this horse does it impressively today, don't be surprised if you see it running against the boys in one of the points races, and she might be pointed for the Kentucky Derby. So basically that's all I could see in here. The only other one in this field that remotely has anything is the 5 horse with Brad Cox's horse. Steady series of works. They're putting blinkers on for this one. Just the speed figures just don't rate up, but the speed figures of this one totally blows away the other in the field, the rest of the field. So it's basically 3-5, and the only other one I could see is the 8. So I'm probably going to play, hammer a cold try 3-5-8 and a little bit of a try 3-8-5. Other than that, I can't make a case for any of the others. They're just too slow, not as classy. So I'm just curious to see, as a fan, how Zany runs and what they do with her down the road.
I'm with you 100%. If we're at the NHC contest, which we might be at the end of this month or certainly at the end of March, this would be a pass race for me. I just see no value in this race at all, unless you do, like you said, a big time trifecta with big numbers that you put in there. The only reason I'll watch that race too is if that horse wins, just to see what they talk about, where they're going to place the horse next. And it could be in, like you said, in with the boys, but that's probably the only reason to have my interest in that race. But all right, John, let's go to the 11th race at Tampa Bay.
Yep, the Sammy F. Davis. Now we got a full field of 9. Pretty competitive race here. And let me see. We'll start out with the 1 confessional. Flavian Pratt, Brad Cox ran second to a monster, Fred's monster. Nearly, who just blew the doors off and ran impressively in the Holy Bull. So if you believe that race, which I definitely believe it now, this horse ran second as the 3 to 5 favorite against Nearly. So they had a lot of high hopes for this one. Got dismissed first start, at 12 to 1. So it wasn't like the hot Brad Cox horse like you normally see. This one slipped under the radar, won impressively, then runs into Nearly. I mean, it's got a big look from there, and speed figures definitely have her in contention. But 2 to 1 from the rail, maybe gets mixed up or gets in a little bit of a speed. Not tons of speed here. The 9 Dr. Kapoor is going to go, and get out there and push the 1. So I would probably defensively use the 1, but not my top pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of horses in here are lightly raced, so they have upside. I think this horse is one of them. They all have some upside, obviously, clearly. And that's what, if you're a trainer, you're looking for this horse, your horse in this race, to show some upside. I think this horse, like you said, raced against Nearly. We know exactly how that worked out. I think 2 to 1 from the rail, a little bit light in terms of price. Pratt getting on the horse is a plus. Obviously, Brad Cox, when he takes blinkers off, 35%, that's something to be looked at. Can't not use a horse in terms of defensively, as you would say, but would not be my top pick. All right, so let's go to number 2, Epic Desire, Sammy Camacho, one of the top jockeys down there in Tampa Bay, riding for Todd Pletcher. this horse ran second time on dirt, but the first time going long. It won with a decent run, and kind of was up there with the pace in the early parts of the race, and kind of closed it out pretty well. Not sure that against this caliber type horses that are out there, that this horse has a big chance. Certainly can be used perhaps underneath at a price if you're looking for a price, because Sammy Camacho is obviously a big time jockey down there in Tampa and knows the course very well. John.
Yeah, I don't know what to make. I mean, definitely getting better and better each start. Speed figures are going up. The turf races now. All you can say is that first time on dirt, 2 turns, won impressively. With his best number. Was that due to Lasix? Now the Lasix comes back. So are you going to say, hey, this is a 2-turn dirt horse that can only get better, or it was because of the Lasix? So which school do you subscribe to? I'm probably going to take a wait and see approach on this one. Maybe can use it, under in some exactas and tries. Number 3, the Puma. Very, good debut. Chief Wallaby is he closed in the last Derby pool at 17-1 for the Kentucky Derby. So they're high on Chief Wallaby. This horse was 2-1 favorite as a first-time starter against Chief Wallaby, and got off slow, rushed up, and then just got beat by a better horse, fresher at the end of that race. So now second lifetime start, stretching out to 2 turns, essential quality, declaration of war mare should not be a problem. This horse ran in 9 1/4 on the rags sheets, which a single digit first time start is pretty impressive. So this is one that I'm going to have my eye on. Could be one of my top. If it's my first or second pick here, I'll be using the 3 prominently.
This is my first pick. I love this horse, not because I liked Pumas when I was growing up in Chambersburg, wearing the Clyde Frazier gold and black Pumas. This horse also was entered, John, and scratched out of today. Race A at Gulfstream Park was listed as the favorite at 7-5 in a maiden race. Scratched out of that race to be in this race. I agree 100%. I think this horse has a big chance to win here. I think he's got enough speed. I think he's got the right jockey on him. I think he's going to be up there with the horses that are up front. And at 6-1, I hope his odds stay at 6-1. Gustavo Delgado has been able to prepare this horse. I think he's got him ready to go. And as far as a horse on the improve, when trying to look at a horse that's going to get not a little better, but get a lot better next time out, I think this horse is going to be a huge, big upgrade in this race. And I think it's going to win and win impressively. And if he does, that's another horse I'm going to have my radar on for as we move forward to the third Saturday, or the first Saturday in May. My bad. But yeah, I like this horse a lot. The number 4 game for it, 20-1 morning line. Rivera's on him again. Won his last time out in maiden. Optional claiming $75K. Was bet down to almost even money. Stumbled, had a little rough start, still came up, but I think this horse is overmatched.
Yeah, it was definitely a well-met first-time start. And my buddy Louis Rivera Jr. gets the mount for Chad. He's going to go down to Tampa for this race. So good luck to Louis. I'll be rooting for him, as a friend. But a little overmatched here. But Chad Summers, man, if he ships in, he's going there with some intent, and he knows that horse, has quality. And based on the 4 to 5, first-time start, they knew this horse had some quality.
Sure.
So I've been working at Palmetto's, a steady string since that race in Aqueduct, getting acclimated with the Florida weather down there. So I'm going to root for this horse, not necessarily play it, but, I'm rooting for Louis. All right. Number 5, Ocelli. Here's a definite under horse for me. We prominently used in the second and third spots. Probably my third pick here. So at 12-1. He was entered in the Lecomte stakes, and then he scratched out of that to run that maiden special weight, ran into Reagan's Honor. He was so wide, 5 wide, for most of the race, turned for home and looped out wide. made a nice run, almost got the lead, and then just got overrun by Reagan's Honor. So this horse with a better trip, very similar to the horse that won yesterday. The Southwest had that wide trip, turned the tables with a better trip, and I could see this one being very similar, turning the tables and possibly winning, or at least be a key under horse for me in the exactas.
I think that's a fair comparison. The way that horse won yesterday in the Southwest, the 11 horse from wide and then just flew up, and this horse has a chance to do that. I agree. I think if I'm going to use this horse, I'm going to use this horse in any exactas that I put together, especially at 12-1 with Ramos on it, and with Beckman training the horse. Certainly a good trainer. I think this horse has a good chance. Coming in from Fairgrounds too, raced at Churchill Downs, raced at Fairgrounds. Now coming in here to Tampa. The number 6 is going to be the favorite, obviously Renegade, 8-5 morning line. Todd Pletcher, one of 2 horses that he has in here. We already talked about his other horse, number 2, Epic Desire, 15-1. This horse is 8-5. I ran back on the horse again, ran into Remsen, second to Paladin last time out. Obviously going to be probably post time, maybe less than 8-5, I would think, with those kind of connections. Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz, well meant. Looks to be probably the horse to beat in this race is how I would look at it, John. I'm not saying he can't get beat. I think there are some horses we mentioned in here, particularly for me. I love the 3, the Puma. That's my pick. I think that horse has a good chance to overtake this horse or put this horse away early on. And then hopefully keep him at bay when they get to the finish line, John. That's my thoughts on Renegade.
Yeah, he's going to be the favorite. He is a maiden still, officially a maiden, even though he crossed the wire first. Him and Paladin have a duel going on. They each, basically won one, but officially Paladin's 2-0 against him. Just the rag sheets numbers on this horse, a little baffling. At the first start, 3x18, got a 23. Then with that maiden special weight, got disqualified, ran a 9. And then the last race, the Remsen, went back up to a 13.5. So It's not a good pattern to see, a horse digress a little bit there. Did he possibly, was that the best he could do, is that 9 rags number, in a maiden race? Maybe he's, he's not going the right way for that. But, based on the, buyer speed numbers and who he ran against, it definitely should be, one of the favorites. Will be about 6-5. Tough to leave him out. And I would play something, with the 6 over the 3-5, and then maybe the 3-5 over the 6, because he does have that running style where he can let everything sort out in front of him, and he comes running. He's not going to be a need to lead type where he's going to get in a speed duel and get cooked. He should get a good close up there. And, maybe he doesn't win, and our horse, the 3 or the 5, runs with him. All right. Wayne's Law, number 7. Tough Florida bred here. Not sure, what to do with. He is getting better and better on the speed figures. I just think he's a little outmatched coming in from, Delta Downs. But his numbers keep going up in a way you like to see for a developing 3-year-old. Lasix comes off now, so it didn't really help him last time. He suffered a defeat. Without the Lasix, he's got his 2 best wins, so he doesn't, that doesn't worry me at all. But 30-1, I don't know. Probably not going to use much of this horse.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I agree, John. I'm not going to use much on that horse either, so I'll just go to the next horse, the number 8, Max Capacity. Again, another one that we could keep it short and sweet on. Javier Toledo gets on for Richard Salamani. Salaman did 30-1, ran in a couple good stakes races. Not really totally disgraced, but certainly did not put up any numbers or any wins or any buyer speed figures that make you say, oh, I like this horse a lot. He wasn't bet very much at all. Last time out, it was 43-1. Prior to that, 17-11. So this horse certainly, I don't think has a really good chance to make any waves in this race, John.
No, I don't find too much here. He's got the most races, 7 races as a, newly turned 3-year-old. Ran 6 times as a 2-year-old, which you don't see these good horses, running that many times as a, so they weren't sure what they had here. They said, let's just take a shot and throw them in this spot. Probably somebody I'm not going to, use much of. And number 9, Dr. Kapoor, 5-1 on the outside. Safi Joseph, definitely a pace candidate. He
Oh, yeah.
will gun out of there from the outside, which is probably better for him that he could be stalking on the outside of the 1. Um, Unless the 1 lets him go, and then I'll be sitting 9, 1 around the track, or the 1 and the 9's chasing the whole time. So I'm not going to use, just because of the speed aspect, that there's other speed in here. Not going to get his own way, but he did, run with Chip Honcho, Big Dom, and then Further Ado. So his running lines definitely hold up. So I think a pace factor that's going to cause havoc for the 1, and then some of our other horses maybe get a lot better trip.
Yeah, I'm surprised the morning line this horse was 5-1. I mean, Sam Marin is a great jockey down there at Tampa. Obviously, very familiar with any post that he's going to get. He's got the outside post, going to use the speed to get to the lead. There's no doubt about that. I have no question what the strategy is going to be here. The horse is just going to get out to the lead and go. I'm probably going to have trouble, not trouble, but also going to be running with the 1. So I think you're going to have both of those horses looking for the lead and going to have a little trouble holding the lead. But that horse is kind of interesting, especially if the morning line is 5-1. I want to see how that morning line plays out as the day goes on. So those are our picks, John. If you're able, I want to just take 2 minutes to go over a couple plays of the day that I have here. Here's one. Race 11 at Gulfstream Park. It's goes off at 5:18. I love the number 4, Mo Work, 4-1. Johnny V getting on the horse for the first time. Louis Saez getting off the horse. Louis Saez obviously is not down here at Gulfstream Park. So he's not getting that ride. I think putting Johnny V on a young horse means a lot. This horse is 4-1. He's the lone speed in the race per E8. That's my one pick of the day. John, you look like you're going down a dark hallway. Be careful of steps where you're walking.
I'm moving around here.
The next one is another pick of the day. It's at Tampa Bay Downs, race number 9, 4:13 Eastern time. This is a big price here. I like this horse a lot at 15-1. Nessia, he is being trained by Bill Walden, currently at 50%, doing very well down there. This horse is 15-1 on the morning line, being ridden by Eddie Gonzalez, who's also 30% jockey down there. First time out on turf. This is the first time out on anything, but the trainer does very well, particularly at debut, going more than a mile. 23% first time starter, 15-1. No way this horse should be 15-1. Obviously, want to keep an eye on the tote board prior to the race when it goes off, see what's happening with that. But either way, I mean, there's some good horses in this race too. The number 12 Skywatcher, we just mentioned Sam Marin on this horse, trained by Miguel Clement, another horse that's at 9-2, got a good shot from out there. So we'll keep around those races. Those are our 2 Brisnet Bro plays of the day. The first one, as I said, Gulfstream Park, race 11, goes off at 5:18. The number 4, Mo Work. Here I go. The second horse, sorry.
God bless you.
Thank you. The second Bros Brisnet play of the day, again, at Tampa Bay Downs. First time. Right around this mark, right around the 53-minute mark, this starts to happen. Got to keep the next podcast at about 52 minutes. Anyway, those are our 2 picks of the day, so check that out. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. Thank John, the traveling handicapper, once again. John, any final words as you're working through the halls there?
No, just still walking around here, looking for my God bless you, Fred. We need all the blessings we could get today.
Yes, we do.
Just trying to figure out what sequence we're going to play today. The coast to coast could be a little chalky because you got 2 Santa Anita races that have huge favorites that are going to be under even money. So the coast to coast today might not be as appealing as it normally is.
Yeah, well,
maybe the late,
you get a long shot.
If you could beat one of them, if you could beat one of those favorites, then you're going to get paid. So. We'll just more watching today. Play a couple pick 5s, Tampa Bay, maybe in Santa Anita. I'll go that route today.
Okay. Well, as always, John, good luck. It was always a pleasure having you on here. And we'll be on again tomorrow for our special show, our new Sunday wrap-up show at 11 a.m. We'll be talking about what happened today, what happened yesterday. Certainly the races that are going off later in the day, very important to the Kentucky Derby, as well as the Kentucky Oaks. So just remember, bet smart, cheer hard, fast horses can lead to serious, excuse me, serious fun.
All right, let's get you off here, Fred. All right, let's wrap it up. Get you off.
Close us out, John. We'll see you later.
All right, see you guys later. Good luck.
Bye.